Welcome to Aran Island Discs, a podcast series where we talk to Irish people from different walks of life as they reflect on their own journeys. Join me, Russell McDermott, as we explore the many aspects of Irishness and what it means to each of our guests through life's ups and downs. Aideen McQueen, welcome to Aran Island Discs.
Thank you very much.
Is this your first trip to Aran, may I ask?
No, I have been to the Aran Islands. I have been to Inishmore and Inishmean twice. Inishmore once, Inishmean twice. So I must get to Inisheer. That's the one I have to beat.
The missing link. And the weather was always good, was it?
Always good. It's better. It's the Costa del Sol of Ireland. It's really good weather because of the limes. Apparently, because of the limestone soaks in all the sunshine. So you get an unreasonably warmer weather than you would in the rest of Ireland, supposedly. But I've experienced that.
And how do you explain the wild winds then when the limestone doesn't work?
I can't explain that. I can go on my own small bit of experience.
Yeah. And are you a flyer or a ferry person?
I've gotten the ferry. I would love to fly over, but I don't know why it just worked out that we got the ferry.
Now it's trendy to fly over, you know. And how would you describe yourself in your past, like it was in the old days? Are you a comedian, a writer, an ex-teacher? How do you see yourself when you're meeting other people now?
So I work as a comedian. That'll be how I see myself, I suppose. How do you see yourself?
I'm just a retired old FART really at this stage, Adrian, you know what I mean? But really in sales and marketing. But people have a view of themselves and sometimes people have a view of them and you hope that they both match. But in your case, you started as a teacher, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I was a primary school teacher for years.
And how was that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, it was great. When you're in a nice school and there's good supportive staff. I was in the Gael School in Coolock for years and I loved it.
Is it as tough as we led to believe in teaching?
I think secondary school teaching is very hard on the soul because you're dealing with kids that don't really want to be there. I think you have to be made of strong stuff. Primary school teaching, it's very physically and mentally exhausting, but I don't think it leaves the same mark on you. You're not, the kids want to be there more. They're enthusiastic. They like you for the most part. Secondary school is kind of the opposite, really. But it is difficult, yeah.
And they're rebellious and just you have to force them to learn kind of thing.
Yeah, you're forced. And there's a lot of, the exams you're getting, it's very results based, trying to get so many A's, B's and C's. So you're getting it from parents, you're getting it from the pupils, you're getting it from the teachers. There's a lot to it.
Was it being fed up with teaching that made you move into comedy?
No, not at all. It doesn't work like that. It's not like, it's supposed to like radio as well. It's not like on the CA form, there's comedy and you fill it in and then you go and do your comedy degree and become a comedian. People say that to me, why did you give up teaching to do comedy? And it wasn't like that. It's like anything. Comedy is a hobby. So I got a friend that was doing comedy and she encouraged me to do it. And you start doing open mics. So you start going to these gigs, you're not getting paid. Sometimes you're ending up spending more money getting to the gig than what it costs you. And and when you do well at these gigs, then people invite you to do other gigs and you keep doing. And then I remember my first paid gig was for Maeve Higgins and she gave me 150 quid. To open for her in North Dublin. I can't remember what town. This was incredible. I was getting 150 quid to do my hobby.
Yeah.
It would be like getting 150 quid to go for a jog or 150 quid to play chess or 150 quid to scroll on the internet. This was electric. And then bit by bit, more people start getting you to do gigs and then you start getting more paid. And then, so I went down to 4 days a week teaching because I wanted to do the weekends gigging. Then I was 3 days a week teaching because the gigging was taking over. And then the gigging took over so much. I just didn't take any more teaching work. And I haven't done so for 6 years.
Wow. And it is a buzz you get off it?
Yeah, it's great.
And when you come off, it's been good, bad or indifferent to yourself.
Yeah, well, you can feel it. Sometimes you can't trust yourself. Sometimes you feel that it hasn't been good and it's actually been quite good. And sometimes you think that went great, especially if you had a big gigs, which I used to do. You think, I was amazing. And then people are like, no, you weren't. So you have to be, I'm not totally, some people are very good and impartial and able to judge. I don't have that skill so much.
But you are an extrovert, so it comes natural to you.
Yeah, it does.
We always like that chatty as a teacher.
Chatty.
Yeah, well, you're obviously an extrovert. You're comfortable in your own skin talking.
Yeah, I'm comfortable in my own skin talking to a group. I had lots of problems talking to individuals when I was younger, but talking to a group was always fine because I was performing. But I found it very hard to talk one-on-one to people, and still can.
And you started out...
For me in a party, or in general, I prefer to be in a group of people.
Yeah.
And sharing stories with different people, having that dynamic. If I get caught talking to one person on their own, sometimes I can struggle.
Can you?
Yeah.
It's gas. But you describe yourself as an extrovert. You're comfortable doing that. And how did you end up in Kilkenny as a comedian? That's just something you had targeted in your head?
No, I'm from Kilkenny.
Yeah.
So I ended up there by coming out of my mother's womb. I grew up in Kilkenny, and then I left Kilkenny to go to university.
Did you go to Cat Laughs or something? Did you not?
I did do the Cat Laughs. Yeah, there's a festival. I used to work for the Cat Laughs as a teenager, that's for sure. And that's when I saw brilliant comedians, and I thought, wow, wouldn't this be a great life to have?
And that was what age?
So really young. We would have been only 14. Me and my sisters were only young teenagers, and they were always looking for volunteers. So the volleys would come along. We'd wear these t-shirts. We'd just do all the skivvy work, really, putting out chairs, directing people to their seats, pulling tickets apart, cleaning up after the gigs. But as a reward for this, we were allowed to see the shows for free. So you could stand into the shows, then you could maybe go to another show after your own show. And we got to see brilliant comedy that we would never have seen as young teens, like Dylan Moran, Bill Bailey, Louis C.K., Mark Maron, Ross Noble, like brilliant people.
Wow, that's a fine cast of characters, yeah. And Dylan Moore I find very clever and humorous.
But he aims to be clever and humorous.
But he touches upon the thing sometimes. The thing you say, comedians aren't depressive. I mean, sometimes you think he's depressed, but we have a misconception, obviously, of comedians at times, don't we? Tears of a clown, all the things you've said in interviews before.
There are some comedians like that.
Yeah.
There are some, some comedians are, there's a kind of comedian who's an extrovert and, you were always a class clown, you're always making people laugh. And that's one kind of comedian. And then there's the introvert observer comedian. They're usually much better writers, actually. They're the ones who were kind of quiet in school, watching everybody, taking it all in. And some comedians are depressive, and a lot of comedians talk about being on medication. What is it? Antidepressants. Yeah. But I don't know if they have more of a propensity to be depressed than other people.
The rest of us, yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Possibly, maybe towards substance abuse, maybe they have more. I think ADHD is definitely linked with substance abuse, and maybe that then links with depression. And comedians people with ADHD gravitate towards comedy, and people with autism as well, actually.
And is Irishness is a propensity to be more funny than other people, or is that just a misconception as well?
We like to think so, don't we?
we like to think lots of things about ourselves.
Yeah, we like to think lots of things about it. You can kind of fit every narrative around an Irish person. We have that reputation, all right. But at the same time, there haven't been that many good sitcoms made in Ireland or the likes. It definitely in the 90s, Ireland there was a huge cultural burgeoning for Irishness, wasn't there? Just before the Celtic Tiger. And they say, the culture of a country rising up is linked with their economy rising up. So, we had like the Commitments, we had Riverdance, U2, the Corrs, all the Irish comedians from the 90s, the Ed Burns, the Darragh O'Briens, Dylan Moran, Andrew Maxwell then. So they were all coming up. And there was this explosion of Irishness and this cheeky Irish chappy kind of thing. Sean Hughes be kind of in there. So there is definitely that stereotype is locked in from the 90s, and it doesn't do any harm to us.
No, but the confidence did come. I mean, I was in the States during the 90s, and I can tell you, when you went to see the Commitments in Boston, that was the Ireland you'd left behind. You thought it was still a mess, kind of. But from then on, that, and then U2, you saw the confidence oozing out of the place from abroad. And it's very, very true. And people got a confidence to the good times that came on afterwards. And you travelled with that tailwind and believed that Ireland wasn't the hokey-pokey place you had left 10 years before.
Mm-hmm. And how long were you over there for?
A decade, yeah, in the 90s. And, hearing U2 play on the radio in Las Vegas was actually incredible. Having seen them in UCD years before, you know what I mean? That confidence that came out was quite unexpected and unbelievable.
Brilliant. That must have been very exciting.
It was suddenly ironically cool to be Irish, which now people take as granted.
Yeah, exactly. We shouldn't take that for granted. And we're probably listening to other people, like a lot of bands didn't come to Ireland, and
Yes.
it wasn't the place it is now. I mean, I was walking through Dublin 4 there, and you could just smell the coffee. That's the smell you could get. And I was thinking, I don't think if you went to Dublin 30, 40 years ago, your resounding smell would be cappuccino.
Yeah.
And like, it's just a very urbane kind of, what do they call it? What does Stuart Lee call it? The urbane metropolitan elite. And we could feel that in Dublin 4. Yeah, but you could be in any city, any wealthy city. You could be in Helsinki, you could be in London, you could be in a suburb of Berlin, do you know?
Yeah.
It's different. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we need to appreciate where we've come from, I suppose, really.
Yeah. Some people take it for granted. I mean, in the old days, you had to stand outside Beauty's to smell coffee. In Grafton Street now, it's very different. Being Irish in the UK, and when I was Irish in the UK many years ago, it wasn't a comfortable thing to be. And comedians weren't taking that seriously. Now must be a lot different as well.
Yeah, it's a very positive thing to be Irish. People will shout at you from across tube tracks. Oh my God, you're Irish! I love Irish people. The accent is welcome. They're rushing over to tell you that their nan is from County Furlong. You don't want to tell them it doesn't exist there. Yeah, they bend over backwards. Especially the kind of left wing liberal people that participate in comedy. They're at pains to apologise for the potato famine, and so it's always a plus to be Irish.
Yeah. And it's Paddy.
People love it.
And Paddy's Day is a big day for you abroad if you're abroad.
It is indeed, yeah. Especially if it's on the weekend. Now, in England, they tend to celebrate like...
It's the Saturday before or after, don't they?
Put it on the weekend after the weekend before, so it's not quite the same. But people will always get you. Like, you could charge twice as much for Patrick's Day for gigs because they're mad to have Irish comedians on that weekend.
And is your career a result of persistence, having a deep resolve, resilience, Aideen?
Yeah, I think my career is a result of having, just keeping going. I don't have any children, so that helps. So I didn't have that responsibility in my life. I would love to have children, but that it wasn't for me, unfortunately. I just kept going with it, and I think I made an awful lot of mistakes. I'm not the most talented person or anything like that, but I love it, and I just kept doing it.
Most people make mistakes, though. That's how we learn, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you don't learn from your mistake, that's not.
Yeah, well, if you keep making the same mistake over again, yes. But we've all made mistakes, and nothing's shame about mistakes.
Honestly, they say.
They say at the start. And the challenges you face to keep going on a personal level. You talk about some of your addictive personality traits.
Well, I'm an alcoholic, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
And I don't know what other addictive personality traits.
Well.
But, so I'm a recovering alcoholic.
When did you realise that was a thing you had to address?
I'd always had a problem with it, really, since my teens. I always went further than everyone else. I'd always be looking for excuses to drink. But there's a lot of social taboos around drinking on your own. I suppose I didn't start drinking my own till I was in my mid-20s. And then when I started drinking in the morning, I realised that I needed to do something about it.
The lifestyle you were leading in terms of doing comedy shows, late nights.
Yeah, because it's like there's an acceptability of it. But I mean, I was losing gigs, I was passing out, and I was blacking out, and I was getting very messy, So a lot of comedians can be functioning alcoholics for years because they can drink an awful lot. As long as they can maintain and do their set, it's fine. And you can tell there's some of the older comics, they probably should give up drinking, and they're doing the same set for years, but it works. They know it by heart. They can just go up and do it pissed, and it's fine. I wasn't able to do that. Maybe thankfully, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't function, so I had to do something about it. Probably if I could still do it, I'd be doing it. Like, as I say, if I wasn't an alcoholic, I'd be drinking all the time.
And it took discipline to bring that to an end.
No, it's not discipline. I went to a 12-step recovery group, so discipline doesn't come into it for me anyway. And it's hard to explain that. There's no point in me explaining it, but if people are interested, they can get in touch with me and I can explain to them what it is. But discipline is something that we think we should have over alcohol. And that might be fine if you're just a heavy drinker, you can use discipline. But for a true alcoholic like me, I'm not, from my experience, was discipline what didn't work. I needed something else. I needed the group, something outside of myself.
And you look back at that a phase of your life, do you, that's gone, moved on, or is it deal with it day to day as a challenge still?
Phase. I mean, I was an alcoholic for 20 years, actively, really. I had periods of sobriety, so it wasn't really a phase. But I know I go to meetings all the time. I try to go every day if I can. I'll end up going to about 4 a week. I'm active in service. I do a lot of work with other alcoholic women. So it'll be, hopefully for the rest of my life, I can give back what the help I got.
And you have no regrets in terms of the things that happened during that. You just move on.
Oh yeah, I've loads of regrets, but you have to just move on.
Yeah. There's no joy down that road.
Yeah. Of course, I hurt people. I have regrets. I hurt myself. I have regrets. I did things that were very dangerous. Yeah, I've loads of regrets, definitely. But you try to use that regret to learn from it, and then maybe to teach somebody else or to help somebody else.
Mm. And that quote you saw in the East End toilet about talent without ambition is like a bird without wing. Does that resonate with you as that's the way you have to?
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. Talent without ambition is like a bird without a wing, because loads of people are really talented. Loads of people could do comedy for sure, that they're just as funny as me, funnier than me. But yeah, it's persistence. And,
But it's also talent. I mean, you talk about you were lucky, but it obviously is an inbuilt talent as well.
Yeah, I suppose I was always funny, and I was, a lot of things probably, like I was an unattractive and a weird child, but that made me have to be funny in order to get attention. And we weren't, so that also helps. I don't know.
Are there many in your family then you had to fight for attention, were there?
I have 2 sisters. They're very close in age. One was a year and 2 days younger, and the other one is 2 years and 5 months younger. So we're very close in age.
I know the feeling. And positivity is something you always say you had to is important. And how do you make sure that state of mind is with you to be positive?
Yeah, I do stuff in the morning, like I do a positivity reading, or I have certain things that I do that's part of my program of recovery. Sorry, I sound like it's like this cult now. But like I can't disclose too much. But it's there for anyone who wants it. But yeah, I do. I make sure that I stay on track with those kind of things, trying to help other people, not put myself first. And, getting out of my head is the best thing, is by helping other people.
Are Irish people maudlin by nature?
No, not compared to French people or English people. I think maybe they would. Are they?
There's such a maudling about us, though. We like the music, the sadness, funerals. We're good at celebrating people going in a funny kind of way. Some people, they're obviously more famous when they're gone. We didn't say hello to them when they were around. We have a way of dealing with death.
Yeah, I know. It's like Sinead O'Connor. Yeah. And I went to see her gig about 10 years ago in the concert hall, and it wasn't full, by any means. But then when she died, you'd swear she'd had filled up Croke Park 3 times for all the sadness there was. I don't know. I can't answer that. I know Spanish and French people and English people. I think perhaps a little bit, but these things are all slight, these leanings.
Well, in England, the funerals are kind of very 2 weeks. It's not the same celebration. In Spain, you're gone within 24 hours nearly. It's very Arabic in its way. We have a ritual which celebrates the life, more so than we celebrate when the people are around at times,
Yeah. It's true. I mean, what did they say? An Irish funeral is more fun than an English wedding. That's probably true.
Yeah. And the Irish language is important to you, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Very important. But I have no choice. My dad raised us speaking Irish all the time, so it's part of who I am. And I do a lot of gigs in Irish, and I used to teach Irish and teach in Gaelscoil. And if I had a child, I would have raised that child in Irish. My sister has a niece, which is great, and she's raising the child in Irish, so I can speak Irish to that baby as well.
And the language is a lot. I mean, I don't speak Irish. I grew up abroad, 18, so it's something I speak 4 or 5 other languages, but no Irish. But I value the sound of the way here you speak it, for example, the way you and Tommy Tiernan and others say, Inish Mia. There's a way of saying it rolls off your tongue, which we don't say it when we speak it with an English accent.
Cool.
It's very tuned. There's a very ritual sound, musical sound to the language.
That's a very nice thing to say.
Because cool. I've heard it butchered as well. Anyway, a favourite place in Ireland other than the Aran Islands for you?
I don't really have a favourite place. I'd love to say that I do, but as long as I'm able to just I go swimming anywhere near the sea and do a bit of writing. I'm happy. So anywhere near the sea is good for me. I like Ring in Waterford. That's where I used to go on holidays when I was small. Um, I like going to Kerry and go to Connemara. So I suppose the Gaeltachts are very close to my heart.
Yeah. And music piece that travels through life with you that you might use as a piece of strength or during difficult times, tough times?
I especially love Puccini opera. I'm hoping to go to La Boheme soon. So any soprano arias from Puccini will really lift my spirits. So if I'm sad, it'll help me cry.
You're going there to see them live, yeah?
Yeah, La Boheme. I've seen La Boheme. The Madame Butterfly is on at the moment, so I'm hoping to go and see that. So I do like that kind of light Italian opera a lot. I love it's just very powerful. Also, like, Mozart, the Magic Flute, I love that. I sang one of those songs in school for the Leaving Cert music, so we got a good insight into that kind of music, and you develop a taste for them when you study it a bit.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your favorite song from all of life?
There's some 70s rock, 80s, things like Supertramp, Neil Young, some of those silly things like that. Some of the lyrics would have been important at that stage of my life when they travel with you.
Oh, good. That's lovely.
And Neil Young has a song, "Oh Man, Look at My Life," or he talks about people 50 or 60, which at the time seemed unreachable. And now you say, my God, little did I know how the clock ticks,
Exactly.
And certain songs you go to when you feel you need a bit of strength, And quotes. Edna O'Brien has this great one, I think, when she says, "When anyone asks me about Irish character, I say, look at the trees, maimed, stark and misshapen, but ferociously tenacious." And she used that to describe what Irish character meant to her.
She's coming from a point of view of the 60s when Ireland was very poor and people had to emigrate. We're very spoiled now. So I don't believe that the people of Dublin 4 are the tenacious, stoic trees that she was described.
And would you have any alternative? No.
I think we over-romanticize ourselves as Irish people a bit, and we tend to think of ourselves as quite special and exceptional. And there are kind people and people who try to be good, and there are people who don't. So I suppose I would look more to that. I do think we're a little bit kinder than the English. I don't know why. They seem to be more kind of like, let's divide up the cash, practical and a little bit colder. So I think I hope that there's a warmth to Irish people. I don't want to be cocky and say we're wonderful, but I do think we have an extra warmth.
But you're more measured than the nostalgia of Edna O'Brien suggests, that we're resilient, tough, tenacious. People now are more practical about the Irish, less emotional in ways, aren't they?
They are. And
which people of my generation wouldn't recognise.
There's a lot of people who they get very upset if somebody says that Cillian Murphy is British, or they get very upset about all this. And I'm like, no offence, but you're not really acting very Irish. We're not that distinguishable from the UK. We've got all the same shops. We speak the same language. We listen to the same music. Like, I am my Irishness. I sing Irish music. I play Irish music. I speak the language. So I carry that all the time. But I don't get offended by people thinking I'm British, because why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they think any of us are British? We are but in name British in many ways. So if people are upset about not being, getting somebody mispronouncing the name Cueva, maybe it's on us to act a bit more Irish.
No, I agree with that. That people do get very touchy about that. I think unnecessarily and overprotective and over the top. How could anybody know how to pronounce Cueva if they weren't going?
Yeah.
It's mathematically impossible to decipher that if you're English. You never get Cueva.
Yeah, you don't understand the system that we use.
Yeah. And of all the inventions, I believe the mobile phone is the one you think is best.
Definitely. Yeah. A lot of people hate it.
Yeah.
But it's just so handy, isn't it? You can get so much information. You're never left curious about something. If you have a question, you can find out. So it's fantastic. I know it wrecks people's heads and people have to be separated from it, and probably, you can order anything late at night, or you can watch anything late at night that mightn't be good. But I find it to be, people say, oh, I hate the mobile phone, but you're still on it all the time.
Yeah.
So I like it.
And what's your show gig schedule from now to Christmas into the new year?
Oh, loads. I'll just look at my mobile phone now and find out. So handy. I'm in Kilconomics this weekend. So that's a comedy and economics festival. It's brilliant. If you get a chance to go down, it's great. David McWilliams started it. Yeah. And you've got loads of great economists. And then we have comedians, kind of lightening the load. And they always have fascinating discussions. I love it. It's my first time being part of the crew there. Part of the audience. Yeah, I was guest many times. Then the weekend after that, I'm opening for Russell Kane in England. Then the weekend after that, I'm out in the UK in rugby in Brighton, and then I go on a little holiday. There you go, break up the winter blues to Gran Canaria, and I'm back in England for another weekend. Bristol in December. Then I am doing a show called Feral Wellness with my friend Sophia Wren in Arklow. So we did this in the Dublin Fringe. It's a kind of a crazy fun show where we it's kind of part stand-up, part interactive comedy. It's really fun. I can't even describe it, but it's great. And I'll be in Carlow. Carlow are doing an arts festival, and that weekend I'll be there on the 14th of December. If anyone's in Carlow. Then I'm in the Crack Den in December for the whole week, which is in the Workman's. And then I have Christmas off. And then I'm opening for John Cleary on the day after Stevens's Day. So every weekend is busy, thankfully. Wow. Yeah. And then I teach my comedy school during the week. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I have a comedy school. And that's fun. So I get people, there's a beginner's one and an advanced course. And if anyone has any interest in comedy or just being more funny or just knowing about comedy, you come along and I get them kind of ready for a gig, which we have at the end of the session.
Wow. You're busy. And if you look back on your career now, and is it what you expected, or you're surprised, or you're amazed, or how do you feel?
I don't know what I expected. When I just wanted to be near comedians. I just thought these were fascinating, fun creatures. They were debauched and they drank during the daytime, and I wanted to be part of that. So I had no big plan. I was a reckless alcoholic, so I had no big plan. I just wanted what I wanted, and I didn't really think about it too much.
We must have seen comedy somewhere as a younger.
I did. 18. As I said to you, I was in the Cat's Laugh.
Yeah, but at home, was somebody funny around you, or comedy must have triggered something in you early on?
Yeah, I used to love, but like everybody, I used to love the comedy programs and Father Ted and things like that, and doing little sketches with my sisters. So I was always theatrical, but, no more so than... people nostalgize. They kind of look over their life and oh my God, it was meant to be. I was always loving music and now I'm on X Factor. But again, I think it's just one of the roads that I could have taken. Well, and I'm glad I took it, and I'm happy with my life. It's very good. I made sacrifices. I haven't children. It looks like it's too late for that now.
Is that important thing you've missed, do you think, or you want to still have? You've said it twice now.
I'm 42, so... The odds are against me.
But it's something you originally thought you might want.
Yeah, I've always wanted children. Yeah. That's been, but I suppose I was an alcoholic as well, so it's a good thing I didn't have them when I was drinking. I'd have fought with the baby in the bathroom too. And
if you're giving advice to somebody who's thinking of comedy now, what would you say?
I would say do it because you love it. It takes, there's a few prodigies that have come out recently that are amazing out of the box, but it takes a while to get money out of it. So don't give up the day job yet. But the comedy course, I can't deny that's very helpful. People love my comedy course and they find it very good. So it's great. Word of mouth now just keeps it ticking over. I don't advertise anymore. Go to gigs and do it because you love it, and give it a go. And you might fail sometimes. Everyone has bad gigs, but keep going.
And do you still surround yourself with funny people all the time?
Do I still?
You quoted there, if you want to be funny, you surround yourself with people who make you funny, find you funny, are funny. Is that important?
This is you reading something that I said.
Yeah, I'm just saying, is that type of people you find?
Okay, I didn't realise that was something I'd said. Yeah, no, it's helpful to, there's no point in hanging around people who just don't find you funny. And sometimes men just don't find women funny, and that's fine. They're entitled to that. Just avoid those men. Surround yourself with women or whoever that finds you funny and that you find funny and that you can have a bit of banter with. Yeah, definitely, as much as you can.
Aideen McQueen, thanks for giving me your time. Cheers.
Not at all. You're very welcome. Best of luck with it now.
Thanks, Aideen. Bye.